Yeah, so I wanted to sort of do a little.
Isn't it hard?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. Just straight away, that little look there is exactly the same as the
Yeah, the one we
tall oak trees. Funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah, just wanted to talk about Ray of Sun, and such a special song, and that was the song that appeared on. It was kind of a late addition, wasn't it, to the Green album, the Kondraks album?
Yeah, self-titled.
And do you know? I don't know whether it was a good idea self-titling that album because it's so hard to explain to people what it's called.
Yeah,
because you go, it's called the Kondraks. No, you're called the Kondraks.
The Green album.
Yeah, because we think we're as big as the Beatles.
So Ray of Sun came about because it was one of our followers, who to us on Facebook was a big follower at the time.
And right from the beginning as well.
Yeah, right from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And we used to be in contact with him quite regularly, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we found out that sadly that he was terminally ill with cancer, and so I think it was you, Pete, that actually said to him, can we write your life story in a song?
Yeah.
And then he came back. He would love that because he loved our music, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then I think it was a few weeks later when we got this great big long essay in a Facebook text. That's amazing how it started to rain like that.
Yeah, I'm in the rain now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
this is like reversal.
So he sent this big text and he'd give me his whole life story in a text, didn't he? And so I started to create the song. But when I read the text, I thought, God, this is like a film. It was just incredible, wasn't it? And some of the story was that he'd broken down in his Pontiac GT, and a lady pulled up and asked him if he needed a ride, like anybody would do, just to help him out. And I think they just connected straight away, fell in love with each other, which is unreal. And she fell in love, and they were he was a bit of an outlaw, which they called him in America. He was, doing a bit rough, aren't they, Pete?
Yeah.
So he said to him, she said to him, like, my family don't like you, and we can't sort of see each other, so we had to see each other around each other's back, behind the family's back, and it was like all really just hiding away. Anyway, the two brothers of her and the dad really put a bit of pressure on him, to leave the daughter alone, which was quite sad because they were so in love. And then she fell pregnant, and they had a baby, and the baby, they was in hospital with a baby, and he was sneaking into the hospital to see the baby. And when they left after that, sort of come out of hospital, and they were still trying to see each other, but then the brothers really put pressure on him and actually hurt the man. So in the end they decided we're going to have to sort of leave town. I can't stay here no more. And they were so distraught and so hurt. And then he ended up leaving town. And then he joined the blues band, didn't he, Pete? And then 27 years later, obviously they weren't playing in the blues band for 27 years, but 27 years later he gets a phone call from a man, and this man is his son. So they'd had the daughter, and before he'd left, she'd fell pregnant. Didn't realise he'd gone. 27 years later, the son's rung him and said, "Are you so and so?" So he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm your son." And he said, "I just wanted to tell you that my mum still loves you and still thinks of you highly and that." And he said, "Well, I do your mum too. I live on my own." And he said, "Well, mum lives on her own too." And he said, "Why don't you come and have dinner?" So they went and had dinner, and then they've been married since 17 years since, something like that. And then obviously he found out that he was terminally ill with cancer, and that's why me and Pete felt so obliged and so happy that we wrote the song for him.
Yeah, and that song, I mean, his nickname about being, so her nickname is Ray of Sun.
Yeah, Ray of Sun, and that's her name was Raylene.
Yeah.
And that's where the songs come from, obviously, Ray of Sun. And she used to call him Big Old Bear, because he was a big old boy, like biker sort of boy, big beard.
Yeah.
But beautiful, and I remember when we sent the song to him, he just sent a simple text back, and it said,
"Leave me
alone." I'm on my knees. But he went, "I'm on my knees," and I just thought, we've
never contact me again.
Yeah, we've done what we were supposed to have done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good.
It's good. Right, so thanks for that, Tony.
That's all right, mate. It's no problem.